that's one remembrance. Who knows? We could be gone too.
You wouldn't remember me anyway.
Huh?
I was such a mean person.
But on the other hand, I have my moments too, though. But I know one of the things I wanted to ask you a little bit about was what it was like growing up in the early Kresha family.
Well, we had no problems. We loved each other. They were so without their mother, and our mother was a wonderful person, and she and Dad got along, and so they always loved me, and I put them to bed. And I was like a mother to them, and even the second family. Lillian just can't get over all that I did and got him through high school.
As I remember, it wasn't easy those days because there was so much work was so physical. I mean, you had to cut the wood. And
it cost money. Not a lot, but it really cost me money. I don't even know. I never saved a penny when I was not still working because I was helping the family all the time. Yeah, I'm not bragging. No. In my jobs, I never applied for a job. I always got them. First one, why I didn't go to a Polish wedding dance because I had washed and baked bread every day and rolls for 8 different baskets for the school in the country, 39. And I had to wash. And my stepmother was expecting a baby, and so I said, I can't go. And my dad said, if you don't go, they can't go, because I had to always go. I had to drive. But finally he let them go, and I stayed home. Telephone rang, and a fella called. Is Sophie there? Ha. My daddy was always kidding me, and he said, fella's calling you. No fellas interested in me. And so when I answered, he said, hello, Sophie. I don't know you, and you don't know me. Would you come to work tomorrow morning? I am the county agent. And I went. My dad said I'd have to walk. I don't remember how I got there, because we lived 10 miles from town, you remember. I worked there 5 years, and then a fellow always kept him coming to my door. I didn't know him. His name was Philman. And he said, I've got a secret to tell you. And I thought, no man's ever going to secret me up for anything. And I didn't answer him. He said, I'm going to run for county clerk. And if I win, I want you to be my deputy. Oh. 8th grade person. He won. He came to the door and he said, ha, I won, and I want you to be my deputy. He said, but you got 2 strikes against you. Well, I thought, well, the heck with you. Well, why are you harassing me all the time? And he said, well, the first one is your father is a Republican. And of course, he came from Austria and he became a citizen. And then he became Republican and did not know one from the other. And he didn't ask my mother's folks. All the people down on the valley were Democrats. There wasn't a Republican.
I was reading about that in the book, and I wondered why he chose to be a Republican over the Democrats, because I thought it would be pretty unpopular. It still is pretty much in some parts.
And he said, well, I know your uncle also. He'll sign your bond for you. I said, well, my mother can sign it too, because she's a Democrat. And he said, yeah, I know that. Then he laughed. I was the only Catholic in Osceola for all those years. 23 years. I was the only one that worked in the courthouse was a Catholic. I was censured by the Ku Klux Klan And they would kill me if they caught me out by myself sometime. Well, you don't believe that. That's true. So I asked our priest, I said, well, Father, what can I do about this? I'm the only Catholic and I'm so criticized. But I had a lot of good friends, too. They really appreciated Catholic. And he said, well, pray one Our Father and Hail Mary every day. And I did for 23 years. We got a hospital. And then they didn't last too long because they petered out.
Is that St. Francis Hospital?
Ignacio.
I think that's the hospital I was born in.
I think you were, too.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And
a museum now, I think. They made it into a museum.
Yeah, that's right.
By Annie Jeffrey.
Yeah. And so then when the next job I got, well, this is ahead of the time. I got a job where Walter Burke came to me, Sophie, he said, you're not getting enough money working at this as deputy county clerk, and we had so much writing to do, and nobody, they thought that was the most beautiful writing, and they always would say, whose writing is this? It's beautiful. And even later on, I went in, and so he said, Sophie, I want you to go to Columbus and take the civil service examination, and Jack Smoggins was my brother-in-law, and he was chief of police and also the head of the civil service examinations. So I took them, and I got my report back, and it said, very good. And I have started working there, and I worked there 25 years, and I had to retire because I was 70 years old. And then they closed all the offices. There were 69 offices, and they closed them all, but 29. Well, I was on the bottom of the ladder, so I was the one that couldn't pick out the place I wanted to go, that were available, that were open. So then on my birthday, I got a telephone call from from Lincoln. We've got a job for you. And I said, oh, yes. They said it's at Valentine. And I said, oh, that godforsaken place. The man just told me he came from there and he was running the Tencent store. And he said, that's a godforsaken place. He had told me that before I even heard this. He said, well, I said, there's nothing I could do. So my dad said, well, you're doing too much around here for everybody. It's about time that you're doing something for yourself. I did.
But you didn't go to Valentine, though, did you?
Oh, yes, I did. Then in '49, I lost my life almost when I got caught in the awful blizzard. I'm just lucky to be here. I got stalled between San Selmo and Thetford. Great big snow drifts, and the cattle broke in from the fence and just piled the snow up in the road. You couldn't come or go, and nobody came by or through from 11 o'clock till 9 o'clock when they finally made the maintainer come. And when he came, he threw a calf on my car, and cows were standing here and there and in the back. And he said, what? Are you alone? Yes, I'm alone. Hello? He said, well, what the hell are you doing out here alone? I said, well, that's a good story. So they got me in it, and all the things were open this way and that way. And then when they would be plowing that snow, and then we went about 2 miles, and then there were a lady and a man, a little boy, about 15 years old, from Gothenburg, not Gothenburg, but up here. And they didn't even have a coat or anything because it was beautiful when she took her brother down to Lincoln to school. And they picked her up then, too. And they set them on me. And every time they shifted, they almost broke my leg. And when finally we got to Anselmo, they closed up everything at 9 o'clock. And we had to walk 2 blocks and it was snow all over and carry our little suitcase. We got to a restaurant and the man was just going to close. But when he said we came in the truck or the whatever it was, or the van that cleaned up the road, and they didn't make any effort to do anything for us. They just went on to Broken Bow. And so then when we got there early, he said, I'll stay open and get you something to eat. But we didn't have no place to stay. Everything was full. And finally we found a place. It was about 2 blocks from there. And we had to walk there. And they had a place upstairs for me and her and the little boy. And it was colder than cold. I don't know how I ever survived. And then when we said, well, we can go down to Thetford now and bus will be in, the roads will be open and you can get to Valentine. We waited till 4 o'clock. They didn't get it open, they broke down. And we had to go back to Anselmo until Friday. And they said, well, you'll have to go back to Columbus and then go up. Well, when it got to going, when we got as near Burwell, they said the road was open. So we took the road, and when we got to O'Neill, it was started to snow. And that was on a Saturday night. So we stayed overnight there. Well, you're taking a picture. You're telling what I'm talking.
Sure.
And so then we stayed on O'Neill overnight. In the morning I went to Mass. And when I came back, I went to the restaurant, and there was one of the supervisors from the Farmers Home Administration that worked in O'Neill. Well, he said, what are you doing here? I told him. And so then he said, well, I think that you can get back to Valentine today, because they didn't have any snow in the Valentine.
You're kidding.
And then when I got there, my people weren't home. They were in Omaha. They got stalled. And then
You were stranded.
I was there about 2 hours, and here they come. Oh, we're so glad that you are here, because we were so worried about our place being all by itself. And I said, well, I just got home. And they couldn't believe me. Boy, I put my car in a garage, and I didn't go any place till after Decoration Day.
Goodness.
And then I asked for a transfer. And I got to
I would
Mitchell.
too. That's
Came to
pretty
Mitchell.
lonely. That's what brought you to Mitchell, was the transfer from there?
And I've been here since August the 29th, 1949. It'll be 41 years this year. And I got that house about a year after I came here. And she told me if I would buy it, well, she'd take $1,000 off and take it, sell it to me direct for $6,500. And now the valuation is $28,000. How you like that?
That's pretty good numbers.
And then I went to Mass, and the priests, they were always getting me for catechism, playing the organ, and that's all I did. Played the organ about 35 years here.
Mary and I have been wondering, has there been anything on the glass, the stained glass? Anything new on it? How did it ever get finished?
No, the money is still, I put it in the hands of the priest and Bill Thomas, because it was requested by Father Flotzig for stained windows. And all these people they don't believe in those things anymore. They, the money's in the bank, drawing interest. So I don't know. I think they'll wait till I die to see what they're going to do.
There'll be a different priest who likes windows.
Yeah.
Well, you remember Father Ed, don't you?
Yes.
He liked stained glass. In fact, he taught me stained glass a little bit. That's what
Father Plotzik did too. He's the one that he said, I want you to quit giving you this money for the church. The people should be doing more than they are, and you're doing too much. And he said, I want you to put it in St. Teresa's thrift shop fund, and I did. I took in over $50,000, and they used it for this and that and everything else.
Not one piece of glass, huh?
No stained windows. And I bought the organ for the church at the old church, and I never told it. Father knew it, nobody else did. I just didn't tell it, because it was something I wanted to do, nobody's business. Now,